The one habit that changed everything in my business, if you ask me what changed my business more than anything else, you might expect me to say it was a particular strategy, a new marketing funnel, artificial intelligence, or a breakthrough piece of software. The truth is much less exciting. It was one habit, consistency. For years, I did what most entrepreneurs do. I searched for the next answer. I believe success was always just one more course away, one more mentor away, one more platform away, or one more clever marketing tactic away. Every week there was something new, a new social media strategy, a new AI tool, a new traffic source, a new promise that this would finally be the breakthrough I'd been looking for. The problem wasn't learning. Learning is important. The problem was believing that knowledge alone would build a business. It doesn't. Execution does, and more importantly, repeated execution. Eventually, I realized something that completely changed my perspective. The people I admired weren't necessarily smarter than everyone else. They weren't always the most talented. They didn't have unlimited resources. They simply kept showing up day after day, week after week, year after year. While everyone else was chasing the next shortcut, they were quietly building trust. Every piece of content they created became another opportunity to help someone. Every conversation strengthened another relationship. Every client they served became another success story. Every lesson they learned made them a little better than they were yesterday. None of those individual actions looked remarkable, but together they became unstoppable. That's when I stopped asking, what's the next big thing? And I started asking, what's the next right thing? That single change transformed how I approach business. Now, every day begins with a very simple question. What can I create today that provides value? Not what can I sell, not what can I promote. What can I create that genuinely helps someone move forward? Because here's what I've discovered. Value compounds, trust compounds, authority compounds, your reputation compounds. Every article you publish, every email you send, every video you record, every conversation you have, every promise you keep. You're making deposits into your reputation. Most people underestimate how powerful those small deposits become over time. We're living in a world where everyone wants immediate results. People want six figures in 6 months, millions of followers overnight, instant credibility. But business doesn't usually work like that. The strongest businesses are built slowly, brick by brick, decision by decision, day by day. That's not a weakness. That's actually their greatest strength, because anything built slowly tends to last longer. One of the biggest lessons I had to learn was separating my actions from my emotions. Some days you'll feel motivated, other days you won't. Some mornings you'll wake up full of ideas. Other mornings you'll question everything you're doing. That's normal, but successful business owners don't allow temporary emotions to dictate permanent decisions. They build systems instead, systems that continue working even when motivation disappears. That's what consistency really is. It's not perfection. It's not working 20 hours a day. It's not burning yourself out. Consistency is simply making the decision that you'll continue moving forward, even if today's progress feels small. Those small actions eventually become momentum, and momentum changes everything. Think about the businesses you admire. When you discover someone who has hundreds of helpful videos, years of educational content, thousands of satisfied customers, a reputation built on integrity, you don't question whether they're an authority. Their consistency has already answered that question for you. Authority isn't declared, it's demonstrated again and again. That's why I believe content creation is one of the most valuable activities any business owner can commit to. Not because every post goes viral, most won't. Not because every video generates clients, many won't. But because every piece of content becomes another asset working for your business. It continues building trust long after you've published it. It continues reaching people while you're asleep. It continues introducing you to people who've never heard of you before. One piece of content might not change your life, but 500 pieces of content just might. The same principle applies to every part of business. Small improvements, repeated consistently, create extraordinary outcomes. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're wondering why things aren't moving as quickly as you'd hoped, don't immediately assume you need another strategy. Ask yourself a different question. Am I being consistent enough for the compound effect to begin working in my favor? Because the compound effect is invisible at first. You won't notice it after a week. You may not notice it after a month. Sometimes you won't even notice it after a year. But eventually there comes a point where all those small actions begin connecting together. People suddenly discover your content. Recommendations begin happening naturally. Opportunities appear. Clients arrive. From the outside, it looks like overnight success. From the inside, you know it was simply years of consistent effort finally becoming visible. If there's one message I hope you take away today, it's this. Stop looking for the habit that's easier. Build the habit that's repeatable. Create consistently. Learn continuously. Serve generously. Improve relentlessly. The entrepreneurs who build lasting businesses aren't usually the ones who make the biggest splash. They're the ones who quietly keep showing up long after everyone else has stopped. Success doesn't belong to the most gifted. It belongs to the people who stay in the game long enough for consistency to become momentum, and momentum eventually becomes success. So wherever you are today, don't underestimate the value of one more step, one more piece of content, one more conversation, one more improvement, one more day of showing up. Because the one habit that changed everything in my business wasn't chasing something new, it was deciding never to stop moving forward. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.